Welcome back. It's time for Media Watch. James Creedon's here with his computer and a long list of stories. One question I'd like to start with, it's one I've put to everybody else in the newsroom. Do you know where Muammar Gaddafi is?
No, I don't, unfortunately. But it seems everybody is asking that question this evening. It is the question of the day as the search proceeds to finding Mr. Gaddafi. Is he in Tripoli? Is he in Sirte, his hometown? Is he somewhere in the desert? But the other question is who is actually conducting the search for Muammar Gaddafi. On all of the news pictures, the pictures that we're getting from Libya, you see rebels on their 4x4s going around the Libyan capital looking for him. But if we look at the British and French press, they're beginning to ask the question to what extent secret services have been involved in that search. To what extent did they help in the battle for Tripoli, in getting into Gaddafi's compound? So if we look at this article in The Telegraph, the SAS leads the hunt for Gaddafi. Now, apparently, yesterday evening, the British Defence Forces confirmed that the SAS have been in Libya for several weeks and they've played a key role in coordinating the fall of Tripoli. And apparently these SAS soldiers have been dressed in Arab civilian clothing and are carrying the same weapons. So even if pictures did kind of stop on some of these guys, we probably wouldn't be able to distinguish them.
It's complete covert action,
Right.
British crack forces now working alongside supposedly the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker who've thrown down their jobs, picked up their toy rifle and gone out to fight.
Right.
But obviously it's SAS people doing it.
Exactly, because indeed the whole point of this conflict was that airstrikes were meant to help out the rebels on the ground, and there were meant to be no foreign or Western forces in Libya on the ground. But in fact, it seems
the Telegraph saying that is not the case.
That is not the case, exactly. Also, in the French press, they're saying something similar. This guy, he's a defence expert, Jean Guinel. He's saying French special forces, he's asking the question, have they been in Tripoli? And he's answering his own question. He's saying that British and French special forces are in the ground in Tripoli. And apparently NATO sources have confirmed to the New York Times that operations are fairly extensive. Also in Le Monde, 100 or so French, British, Qatari and UAE special forces have been on the ground in Libya for 6 months, according to Le Monde's reading of things. Le Nouvel Observateur, that's another French magazine, they're also saying that, we can't really imagine that special forces haven't been there. If you see the extent to which the pace of events changed in the last 15 days, it's hard to believe that there wasn't some help from Britain, France and others.
I mean, it's very clear when you saw the type of hardware the rebels or the NTC fighters were driving around with. I mean, clearly you could have said that might have been somehow dropped or
Right.
inserted into the country by, because obviously France admitted supplying an amount of
airdrops,
hardware.
yeah.
However, it's the expertise and the kind of the military know-how and the strategic planning that went into it all. Like you say, taking Tripoli the way they did, remarkably quick for a bunch of civilians.
Exactly, and indeed, apparently they've been told now, the special forces who are on the ground, to direct all of their efforts towards the search for Gaddafi. So there you go. Now, elsewhere in the press, there's a lot of coverage of what's been found in Gaddafi's compound.
Does that mean they'll get the reward? Or,
right, who knows? Who knows? What is it again? It's some
1.7 million.
They probably wouldn't get it if they're special forces.
They
But anyway,
could give it to the rebels. Couldn't they?
Look at this. A special Cinquecento, belonging to Gaddafi, is now part of the war booty that people are driving around. This is in Corriere della Sera. It's a Fiat Cinquecento.
Yeah.
It was specially commissioned by Gaddafi.
I once had a Cinquecento. It looked nothing like that.
It probably wasn't quite as high tech
like
as this one. This was specially made, and here you can see people taking it out onto the streets of Tripoli. It was specially kind of changed, and the door was bigger, so Gaddafi could get in with all his kind of regalia and his cloak and all the rest of it.
And his gold.
Exactly. It had various, especially enlarged door. So there's all these photos in Corriere della Sera.
Did it run on electricity?
It was an electric car, exactly.
Wow,
you could charge it up in just, I think it was 10 minutes. And here you see they replaced the Fiat sign with three green books and things like that. One other thing that was found there, a photo album of Condoleezza Rice. Now, he was apparently a big fan of Condoleezza Rice, calling her his little African lady or something like that.
Okay,
so
well, regardless of what he called Condoleezza Rice, she's obviously a very fine woman, and
he obviously seemed to like her.
Mr.
If he had a
Gaddafi on his
photo album
choice.
dedicated to her.
Indeed, nice car as well. James, thank you very much indeed. James
Thanks,
Creedon, as ever with Media Watch. You're watching France 24. Stay with us. More news to come.